its small houses with thatched roofs, Elim is one of the most picturesque villages in the Western Cape. Time seems to have stood still since the arrival of German missionaries in 1824. But to live here, you need to be a member of the Moravian Church, one of the oldest Protestant denominations. Residents pay a fee to the church, who, in return, maintains the town's infrastructure. But the members of the Municipal Council say the money collected isn't being reinvested into the town.
And that is our battle at the very moment in time. They owe us about 2 million rand at the moment. And that money must go to the maintenance of the town. Everything has gone up.
Our roads need upgrading. Our sewage network, our storm drainage needs upgrading. And this is what we need money for. But it gets harder every month.
Elim's residents are still proud of their village. The Moravian Church was the first congregation to welcome communities of colour when slavery was abolished. Residents here are descendants from slaves who came from Bali, Malaysia or indigenous Southern African communities. Even the museum director has never left the village.
Hey, this is my mother.
The church owns 700 hectares of land around Elim. Farmers with more than 10 hectares of land must also pay an extra fee. For some, the situation is unacceptable in post-apartheid South Africa, which promised to return land to disadvantaged communities. Some residents are battling in court for title deeds.
You know we're in court over the land issue. Does Uncle Paul think we should continue the fight?
I think we should keep fighting.
Why?
So that we can have our own land.
Elim's residents have been in court for 5 years, and they're not the only ones who feel frustrated. The Moravian Church continues to manage all of their former missions across the province as private property. One such town is Goedverwacht, about 3 hours' drive from Elim. Lorraine believes the land here should be returned to its indigenous residents. A German farmer once owned the land this entire town was built on. He left it all to one of his servants, Maniessa, after slaves were emancipated in 1834.
And he put it in a will. Very, very good of him. He put it in a will that they can inherit it.
But after Maniessa died, everything changed.
So it left us with 12 grandchildren that was still alive at the time. And they sat together. And they decided to sell it to the Moravian Church for £750.
Lorraine takes us to see 86-year-old Martha, who says the struggle for land ownership here is not a new one.
Years ago, I used to sit next to the radio, and the authorities said churches needed to give the land back to the people. But they never made a plan on how they were going to force the churches to do that. They never came up with a plan that they could implement.
Lorraine says she's not only been deprived of land, but also of her right to do business. She'd organised a fish and potato festival in the village for over 20 years. But after becoming a vocal critic of the church, she was forced to relocate it.
Ask the church, please do come and sit around the table with us as well. Send representatives that can help us to organize our festival.
Financial and commercial disputes aside, these communities have no intention of leaving the church and continue to practice their centuries-old tradition. Every year in Elim, the residents come together to celebrate the Moravian Love Feast.
We want to say that we are united. We want to be united. We want to love each other. We want to understand each other. We want to live in harmony with each other, especially because we are such a small community.
The Moravian Church has 1 million members across the world, with 100,000 of them residing in South Africa. The The leadership of the Moravian Church did not respond to our request for an interview. Meanwhile, the residents of these pious communities hope for a harmonious resolution.